Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. This is iAllegedly, and I've got a good one for you today because there's so much business news to cover. I am back home, and on my vacation, I met a lot of people, and this is for Gary, mom yoga today, for Gary from Florida. Anyways, a lot of things happening. Unsold houses, business problems, big companies going bankrupt, a lot to cover in this video. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and today we have a sponsor, Delete Me, and I'll talk about them in a bit. But let's go, first things first. One thing I love to do when I go to travel, like I was just in Florida, and I always check out the local real estate, like use the map, use your current location. And one thing that you're seeing in Florida is you're seeing just a tremendous amount of inventory, and that's happening, same problems. Whether you're on the coast, and we originally stayed in Fort Lauderdale, so we were in that area, and then hopped on the ship. People don't call it a boat, it's a ship, Dan. Anyways, we're on the ship, and just met a lot of people, but real estate's starting to become a real problem because the people that recently purchased it with their high interest rates, with the lie from the builders and the lie from their real estate agent being told, hey, you're gonna be able to refinance this because interest rates are gonna drop. They're not gonna drop fast enough to help anybody. Plus, same story. Did your situation change? Is your job still secure? Do you still have a great job? Okay, well if you do, good for you. You got tons of cash, maybe you can put some extra cash down to lower that loan payment. Nobody wants to do that. But here is the beginning of the problem. One thing that we're seeing here in Southern California is you're seeing more houses that are high end, let's say above $3 million. 3 million, 5 million start to get listed and start to be put on Zillow. No private listings, no pocket listings. We need to get this out to the masses because we need to unload this house. The problem that you're seeing is that people are desperate. Even after 30 days, you're seeing price reductions, 100,000, 125,000, not getting the showings, not getting the open house traffic that they want. But this is a problem. But here's the one thing. January of 2020, there were 76,000 unsold houses from builders that were left in inventory. Seems like a lot to me. Well, you know, January of 2021, there was only 40,000 houses. And the reason for that was because they had low interest rates and everybody and their brother bought a house then in 2021. 2022, it even went down even further where it was 32,000 houses. And then 2023 is when people realized they had to pay for everything. Once they started to pay for everything, then they realized that they had to, you got to live with the mortgage payment. You got to live with the fixing up the house. You got to live with the inventory you have to live with the maintenance on the house. Everything that goes on with buying a house is your responsibility now. So that's what the realization came in. Well, this has been creeping up. January of 2024, it went to 83,000 houses. Now people were like, okay, that's a lot. Well, no, that wasn't it, okay? What we're seeing right now is January of 2025, we're at 115,000 unsold houses right now. And it's going in the wrong direction. D.R. Horton, all these other builders that are having insiders sell stock right now and not buying the stock, the inventory is only going higher. Leonard, all these places, it's just creeping up higher and higher and higher. And they're doing things. They're making it so, hey, we're going to buy down your interest rate for 2 years. We're going to do these little tricks to make it so you're going to get these houses, but it's not enough to fix the problem. And the problem is that this is the second highest number since 2009 when the world came to an end when it came to real estate. So with that, I'm up at the Montage in Laguna Beach, guys. We're supposed to get a half an inch of rain between today and tomorrow. I wanted to get out here early so you could see this. But when you travel, isn't it great to get home? I don't care how hot she was. It's fun to be home. Okay. Anyways, had a great birthday. Thank you for all the thoughtful wishes and everything you guys gave me. I love it. I'm so grateful for everything. What we're seeing, though, is we're seeing real problems that's only going to make the real estate problem worse. Remember this, guys. You got Home Depot, you got Lowe's, you got everybody telling you that people are putting off big projects. Then you got the insurance companies that are out there and they want to raise rates, especially here in California, and they can't do it. Cannot raise the rates, cannot do this. I believe his name is Ricardo Lara, our real estate czar commissioner here in California, was talking about how people want to raise prices. State Farm steps forward and says, listen, we want the 22% increase, but we're leaving. We're going to ditch California. We're going to cancel more policies. Enough is enough is enough. And, people are like, you're not going to do that. You're not going to cancel policies. Mercury General got approved to do a 12% hike. And he says, we can live with 12%. If you can't pay your bills, if you can't make money on it, you're not going to survive this time. It's just not going to happen. So Safeco, they got approved for a 7.2%, and State Farm says, no, that's not enough. We want 22%, or we're not going to be able to make it. So more problems, guys. But the same thing. Everybody I talk to that lives in Florida, South Carolina, Georgia, all these different places are talking about the same thing. They're having more difficulty, and people are like, damn, we live in a street, track house, and they're threatening to cancel our insurance. Never had a claim, never had an issue. Why is that, guys? The insurance companies are having real problems right now. Around the country is where they're having problems. So that's beautiful. Let's talk about our sponsor, Delete Me. Delete Me is a great service. One thing that we are subjected to is data brokers. Data brokers constantly collect all of our personal information and sell it. This includes our name, our address, our cell phone numbers, emails, photos of our houses, photos of us, all this personal information. I have had this service for about 7 months now, and it is absolutely amazing. Every month I get a report from Delete Me. Let me show you what my latest one was. This is everything that they've worked on eliminating. Guys, do you get spam texts? Do you get spam emails? This can help you with that. Delete Me is a great service. If you go to joindeleteme.com and use /iAllegedly, you can save 20% off the regular price. But I'm telling you, this works. It works great, and you need to check it out today. Nobody wants our personal information to be sold. Nobody wants to, have your job, all this personal stuff about us, family members, everything that links back to us. This will eliminate that. Use this QR code here or use the link below, but sign up for Delete Me today. It's a great service, totally worth it, and I love it. Check it out today. One thing I really preach is preparation, especially with your finances, and trying to foresee problems that could happen down the road. Don't overspend, don't overborrow, don't do anything that is going to put your business in jeopardy. And, Citizens Property Insurance is the largest insurer in Florida. They just announced 100,000 canceled policies since the first of the year, guys. That is crazy, guys. So look at your house, guys. Look at if there's any potential problems. Think about this. How does your house look from up in the air? How does it look if they flew a drone over? Oh, I've had people walk up to me and say, I'd be screwed, damn. I built so much stuff in my backyard I don't have a permit for it. I got a tiki hut. This place it could burn down with all this stuff. I've had everything told to me. You need to protect yourself. You need to get ready for the potential for your insurance being canceled. Have a relationship with your agent. I'm telling you that right now. People are borrowing money left and right and cannot afford to fund their businesses. This is happening more and more and more with restaurants. My son worked at a restaurant and they started treating him horribly. And I told you guys stories, just a side note that he left and he got another job. That restaurant group went out of business this week, shut the door when I was on my trip. And he wrote me and I said, oh, Grant, were they having money troubles? Find out. Well, what they did was they did a merchant cash advance to fund the business. And what this is you go out and you borrow against your future credit card sales, and they give you an advance. But the problem is then you have to run it through their terminal. They give you a special terminal, and you have to run it through them so they can calculate it. They can take a percentage from as little as 10% to as high as 30%. I've done this for a business before. It was very good, but then when you start falling on lean times, that 30% is a killer, absolute killer. And what my son told me was, yeah, Dad, we would answer the phone and they'd say, hey, listen, I want to talk to the owner. Where's the money? And it was funny because I'm like, son, you never told me that part of the story. You never told me that they were leaning on this guy. Well, eventually, you know, they shut him down because he could not get any more money. Now, Newport Ventures, somebody we've never heard of, but they run 18 Del Tacos in the state of Colorado. They were the largest franchisee. They just ran into this last week where they ran out of money. No more borrowing. They were in bankruptcy trying to restructure all their debt, and they couldn't restructure their debt. But employees literally showed up, and it was like my son's old business that he worked at. And thank God he got his paycheck. He got his his W-2, he got everything from the company, and they're gone. They're done. But these poor people that worked there in Colorado for the Del Taco showed up, closed until further notice. Well, no, at first the local station, the stories are below. The local station that did the story was, we don't know what the story is, why they went out of business. So with that being said, I started researching it. Restaurant Dive did a great story about how, hey, these guys could not borrow any more money, and that story is below too. So you can see how it goes from vague to explaining exactly what happened. But I'm telling you, these companies go out and they borrow this money and think it's just going to last forever, and it does not. You know, we've heard stories that consumer spending collapsed in January, and there's a great article below to say, wait, hold the phone. Not yet. Didn't happen yet. Auto sales are holding their own. But again, high interest rates are killing everything. It's, Home Depot's blaming it, Lowe's is blaming it. We've talked about all that stuff. And one thing that's very interesting is year over year, profit for the casinos are down 40% in Las Vegas. A lot of that. One thing that was interesting on the ship was there was less gambling. I spoke to the casino manager and says, yeah, it's down. It's been down for about 4 months. And, all of a sudden people, when they go on these trips, dude, let's go spend a few $100. Let's not. And they said more people show up at the end of the casino. Oh, you know what? We haven't been to the casino yet. Let's go. Where people used to flock there the first night. So that was fascinating. Banks that are doing certain things that are interesting. Wells Fargo and Bank of America are getting rid of DEI programs and phasing them out. So that's kind of interesting, to say the least. Zelle, the Zelle app is used by some small businesses. I told you guys I had somebody do work at the house, and the guy charged me via Zelle because I don't have to pay credit card fees. But there's a tremendous amount of fraud and lawsuits that happen with that, and that is done. One thing that's cool is these painters come out here. There's probably 15 of them right now that are painting, and you get that, and then you get Mom Yoga out here as well. So it's funny, the Mom Yoga, I should have bought that domain name because now it's $3,000 to buy that domain name. But it'd be a great click farm. Anyways, could talk about that forever. Good old Citibank was supposed to give a woman $280 in her bank account. And they put $8 trillion in her bank account for a day. $8 trillion. Citibank does not have $8 trillion, I checked. But see, that's the thing that makes you think. It's just numbers on a screen, baby. When you hear from Jack at Patriot Gold, what would you rather have, gold or money on a screen? So, some binary code. As he goes on and on and on. But this woman was a trillionaire. She's the first one. She had 8 of them. Which, you want to ever do something fun? Look at the stories where people get large sums of money accidentally put in their account, and they just go on spending sprees. And they're not smart about it. They start telling everybody. And there was one woman that bought her friend's cars, bought a house, bought everything. It took about 8 months for them to find it. And then they arrest her, give us the money back. Oh, the money, look at the Bentley out in front of the house. No. So, I get a kick out of stuff like that. But Tropicana, the orange juice company, they are in huge trouble right now. And the huge trouble is that they're saying the bad weather in Florida killed the orange juice trade. The, low crop, problems with fungus, all this stuff. Well, nobody wants to buy a $15 bottle of orange juice right now, of that sugary drink. So no one wants to do that. So with that being said, Tropicana is on the verge of bankruptcy. Here's what's going to happen, is reality is going to set in, because regardless of what major changes happen in any administration, the one thing that you're not going to be happy with is interest rates are going to stay elevated for an extended period of time. And the lie that they're going to drop to, 2% and all this stuff again, days are done, guys. Life gets in the way. People have to sell their homes. People get divorced. People get relocated on their job. They get fired because of Doge. All these different things that can happen are happening. One thing, we'll talk about that later, but don't forget to sign up for our email list, because we got one going out in the next day. And that one I'm really proud of. But check it out, okay? Use the link below. You can sign up for the email list if you're not already on. Don't forget, guys, we have the private channel iAllegedly Live, which I love filming for. And so much is happening on that. The stuff, what's great is there's things you cannot talk about here. That's what that's for. And you get a story that's absolutely wild. But check it out today. iAllegedly.tv is where you sign up for that. Final thing is AutoNation. AutoNation is a big car company that sells automobiles. And here in California, I'm going to make sure I get this right, was they got fined $650,000 for not providing the pink slips fast enough on sales. Here in California, you have to notify the DMV of a sale, you have to get the pink slip out within 30 days. The only time that you're allowed to extend that is if there is problems with the paperwork. AutoNation was like, yeah, there's a problem with the paperwork. No, they were just dragging their feet. But they got fined $650,000 from 24 of their California dealerships. God, that is wild, guys. But here's the thing that I always tell people: when you buy your car, make sure that stuff gets in, and make sure the transfer notice gets in, because I just drove on the toll road to get here, guys. I've had people get toll road notifications. I've had people get, cars get parking tickets, all this stuff that happens, thinking that they don't, I don't own that car. What do you mean it was in Riverside County? I wasn't even there. So it's a real problem. So check it out. Hope you're having a lovely day. And again, it's very happy to be home. I'm very happy to be home, and I'm just stuttering and stammering, and I've been up late, and I'm jet lagged, and I'm that too. You know what I mean? So, okay. I'll see you soon. Email me, hello@iallegedly.com, and I hope everybody's good.